Hello everyone, what is up? It's your boy K-Not Sasuke here, back at it again with another new spankin' hot what if video. Now, I've decided to postpone the Vessel of Set. What if? It's coming up next, don't you worry, don't you cry. And I will begin a new series. Now, this one hasn't really been discussed. As well, I haven't really gotten the chance to discuss it. As it came to me last night. This AU, ladies and gentlemen, is called What If Deku Was the Reincarnation of Chaos King Kris? Now you probably all are confused, right? Well, allow me to do a recap, as this is part 0 of our great story. Just a recap of all the characters in this AU I've made. Pretty much, Kris is the king. He looks like this with this color scheme. He also has a casual outfit, which is this. Now, instead of his attacks being pure white with a black outline, it's the opposite. It's Vanta black with a white outline. As if the white outline wasn't there, you probably wouldn't even see his attacks coming and you'd be dead. He does have a weapon, if you do not know what this is. This is a spade. Yes, that's a spade. It can be used as a weapon, or spear, or staff. Whatever way you want. Yes, this is how Shaolin monks thought. What Shaolin monks thought a spade was. And so they made it into a weapon. Don't know why. I do not know why. But anyways, Kris can summon this instead of the weird tongue whip thing. It's able to spin, use air attacks, and it brings back the old concept of blue attacks and orange attacks. And even brings a new type of attack. These attacks are called red attacks. The only way to dodge... hold on. Sorry about that. But yeah. How the red attack works is, well, kind of like a blue and orange attack, but the thing is, okay, imagine you're being hit with one red bone. If you move through it, you're safe. If you don't move through it, you get hurt. Now a second red bone comes at you, you think it's the same thing. No. If you move through it, you're hurt. If you stay through it, and if you don't move, you're safe. And that's the pattern of this new red attack. Now, it will often confuse the player, obviously. It's nightmarish to avoid. As well, the thing with the black attacks is that if you're really unlucky, the white outline can disappear here for 3 seconds. If you don't know what to do for those 3 seconds, just run around screaming. But anyways, that is Kris. Next we have the one who takes the place of Jevil. Ralsei. Then Sham is obviously taken place of by Susie. He, Lancer, takes place of Rule's cards. And of Rule's card. he takes place, Sham takes place of Kris, Jevil takes place of Rousey, the Chaos King obviously takes the place of Susie, and, hold on, sorry about that, and Noel takes the place of Lancer. Now let us begin our story. We begin with Kris, normal Kris from Deltarune. Hold on. Sorry about that, as we see normal Kris. However, it's different. We see Kris fighting against someone strange. Someone who looks like a pale version of him. Like a weird, distorted, monochrome version of him. Not this, of course. I mean, not this picture. Like I said, that's for this. This is the king, but this is Kris, but with this coloring and color scheme. But the monochrome version of Kris he sees has one thing that Kris just ripped out: the red soul. As a voice then begins booming from this mysterious monochrome Kris, as it then says, 7 chapters and you're finally here. Well then, Kris, behold, I am the knight, or should I say, I am the player, the very being of which you fear. And I know what you're doing, Kris. Don't think it's funny. You've been creating dark worlds, haven't you? Oh boy, that angers me. However, it seems using you as my puppet has lost its advantage. You know what that means, right, Kris? It means you're no longer of use to me, as the monochrome version of Kris, now known as the player, would rush at him with a knife, with what appeared to be a red blade, like a red knife, as it stabbed Kris. However, something else stranger happened. Kris was pushed backwards into the last fountain, the last one he had made so far, as he fell into the fountain, as the red determination magic started glowing into an electrical-like pattern, as black electricity began swirling around Kris as well. As the player then said, well, that's unexpected. Well, it doesn't matter. As just before the player could leave, they would hear a terrifying shriek of a scream, as the pillar of darkness, known as the Dark Fountain, would then explode into all sorts of different colors. And then a black, shadowy explosion would burst all across the lands. However, what happened to Kris? Well, there was no body left after that explosion. But we go to Kris's POV, as Kris had just seen himself blow up, thinking that this was the end, when suddenly he hears a voice saying, "My lord, my lord, my lord." My lord, wake up! As Kristen wakes up and says, huh? What happened? What? Player? Ralsei? Huh? As he is then confused. As he then sees what he could only guess to be an extremely small version of him. As with a different colored weapon and and freckles, along with yellow sharp teeth. And very much smaller armor, and a blue and white scarf instead of the red one. As Chris would then say, "Wait, Lancer?" As the little boy would then say, "That is righteth, my lordeth." As Chris would then begin thinking, wait, why is he talking like Rule's card? That isn't supposed... That isn't what is supposed to happen. Is everyone, like, playing a prank on me, or... As Chris would then get up, as it appeared he had fallen asleep in a throne. As he looked and saw armor on him, royal armor, Deltarune symbol and all, and even a crown, with hair that was so long it reached the bottom of his, and it reached his heels. As he then said, what happened? As Lancer would then say, well, my lordeth, it appears that Hadith youeth falleth asleepeth, insideth your throneth. As Kristen said, okay, question, may I know where the, lighteners are? Trying to sound professional. Chris said, trying to sound professional. As he would then say, yes, the lighteners, yes, the lighteners. The lighteners, if, as he would then say, the lighteners have been spotted, entering at thine castlet. As Chris would then say, tell me, what do they look like? As he would then say, hold on, my lordeth, and hold it on, my lordeth. As he would then teleport, or just like Rule's card does, as he would then teleport to a hallway, revealing, as he would then reach the three lighteners, as he would say, excuseth me, youngeth lightnereth, but what it areth your nameth? As the three would then say, as the first would say, I am Jevil, the prince without a kingdom. The second would then say, I'm Chaos, and I'm better. I'm Chaos, and I'm gonna beat your face in. As then the third person would then say, Sham, an emotionless, this very quiet, monotone voice. As he would then teleport back and say, their nameth, areth, Shameth, Chaoseth, and it Jeveleth. As Well, Kris could only think, so, Jevil, the king, and the old king, and Sham are now lighteners? I can only guess that due to the darkness and determination mixing, I can only guess due to the determination magic and the darkness of the dark fountain mixing within my human body, it allowed me to persist past death. However, instead of respawning like a normal person with determination, I was respawned as a darkener. And it appears because I was the one who created the most darkness, I've become the king. Kris would then think silently to himself, as he would then say, then tell me, Lancer, who is the shopkeeper? The one that is strange and mysterious? As Lancer would then say, my lord, you are talking about Susie. I'm about Susan Aneth, or as everyone else calls her, Susie. As Kris would then say, so Susie is in Sham's place. As he would then say, and the prisoner at the bottom cell, hidden within the deepest chamber, the one that we split up a key into 3 parts to contain, as he would then say, well, my lord, it seems that you are talking about Ralsaith, the Madith Cordith magician, as he would then say, as Kris would then think, Ralsaith became the court magician. As he would then say, and what of my child? As Lancer would then say, oh Noelith! As suddenly a little girl wearing a white and blue outfit would walk out of nowhere and would walk out of the hallway. As she would then say, yes, father? As Kris was worried why Noel was stuttering, as he then said, is something wrong? Why are you stuttering? Now Noelle was completely caught off guard. She was expecting her father to be brash and yell at her some orders or pester her about not keeping the lighteners away. As she then said, Father, I was expecting you to be a lot angrier, more brash, and cruel sounding. As Kris would have been caught off guard as well, as he would then think, wait, if I'm the king, then, oh no. That means if what happened had not happened, then I would have killed her. Then I would have been the one choking Noelle and about to throw her off the bridge, he thought silently, as he then said, Ed, of course I'm okay. But seriously, is there anything you want to tell me? Tell me anything at all. Are you hurt? Are you scared? Anything? As Noelle would then say, well, it's just, you don't seem like you're, you. Yesterday, you literally threw me against, yesterday, you threw me out of the window, and you kicked me out of the window because your tea was cold. As she would then say, as Noelle would then say, well, yesterday you threw me, and you kicked me out of the window because your tea was too cold. And because I made your tea a bit too cold. This infuriated Kris, as he would then think, I can't believe an alternate version of me, even as the king, would hurt a sweet and innocent child. As Kris would then say, well, don't worry, things will be a lot better. Hold on. As Kris would then say, do not worry, little one, I will not hurt you anymore. I promise you that. As Noelle would then burst into tears and hug her father. However, after this, of course, Kris would have had to, and would then have to drop and let his daughter go, and would have to prepare, as he would then prepare his weapons, knowing what would happen. As in the other world, the player forced him to kill the king. Kill the king. Decapitate, slice, end, lacerate, cut the wrists. Anything used for killing? Yeah. Or, in Undertale speech, the player forced Kris to dust the king. As he knew that if he was not strong enough, the king would surely be killed. He would surely be killed by the Lightners. Or by Sham. And the others. As Kris would then would then summon his spade. Or at least try to summon a weapon. What appeared was a gold and black and silver spade. As he then thought, this is a nice weapon. As Kris would then tell young Noelle, Lightners are coming, and as much as I know that they are your friends, I cannot trust that just because they spared one of us, they will spare all of us. Back many years ago, the Lightners were terrible. They killed us all, and they killed many people. A great deal of people. And if this happens again, I could never forgive myself. So, despite the fact that they're your friends, I must prepare to fight them. Kris would then say, now please, go to your room. As suddenly a pure black spade, created from Kris's emotions, would float from underneath Noelle and would fly her to her room. As Kris would then begin using magic, or at least learning how to use this magic, as he invented the red attacks, the orange attacks, and the blue attacks. along with learning how to do such things as break buttons. Buttons, take items for healing, and much more. As Kris would then look at his very soul, which appeared to be a spade. However, one half was black, the other half was white, and the other half was red. Red because of determination. As Kris would then walk to the area where the fountain was, the place where he had fought the original old Spade King long ago. As he would then prepare his weapons, and as he would then prepare his weapon and magic, as he would then stand in the shadows, as suddenly the three would walk up, and as after waiting a couple hours, the three Lightners would walk up to him. The first would have a orange and darker orange scarf with maroon and silver armor, along with a orange and purple blade. The other wore a large purple hat with a yellow jingle bell, and a green and yellow scarf, and a lime and yellow scarf. The other wore a black hood with white skin and many spiked bracelets. As the three, he then said, King Kris, for all. And as the three of them walked to see Kris in the shadow, and to see a black outline hidden by shadow, as then from behind Kris, Noelle would run, she would then say, Father, please, the Lightners are good people. You can't just hurt them because of what happened. As Kris was saddened by what his daughter was saying, as he would then say, Noelle, one day you'll learn why I have to do these things, and it's to protect not only the kingdom, but you as well. As he would then say, now please, Noelle, go to your room. As suddenly 6 pure black spades would form around Noelle, boxing her in like a cube, as the spades would then fly off to Noelle's room. They would then drop her on her bed, and would then block the door. As Kris would then say, and as Kris would then turn around, as the 3 Lightners would then say, strange, we heard you were a murderous, evil king who had no compassion even for his own daughter. What we just saw was the complete opposite. As Kris would then say, well, to be truthful, I haven't exactly been in the right mindset. But enough talk about how I am, about what I do as a king and father. Now I must battle you. You've reached this fountain, and you might harm my daughter, along with everyone else. For all I know, you already have done that. Well, it's only fair that I fight you. Oh, to protect those I care about. As Kris would then summon his spade and would say, En garde, lightness. As a tear would then drop from his right eye and hit the floor. As his right eye would then open, glowing with a red, terrifying glow, as a tear would drop on the floor. But no one would notice. Sham would then dodge a barrage of attacks. But after 10 minutes, his entire team would be annihilated. As suddenly a whole array of pure black spades would form around all of the team members. As Kris would then say, it's not your fault, it's mine. I fear that your kind will kill. And I cannot trust you with life. I cannot trust your kind with life either, as they've done much worse in the past. As he would then say, so, for doing what you've done to not only my daughter and my family, but this entire world, you must die. As his spade would then begin glowing black with a red outline, and would then turn black with a red outline, as it would then begin spinning extremely fast, even acting like a tornado, pulling everything in it and towards it with a large force of wind, like the frigging universal pull. As he would then say, die. However, a orange and purple blade would be seen going right through Kris's chest, as he'd then say, oh, well, isn't this unfortunate? As suddenly Kris's hair would begin dissipating into dust, as he would then say, tell my daughter I love her, and I'm sorry. As he would then fall over on the ground, as his legs and kneecaps would have evaporated in the dust, as the black spades would then be removed from around the lighteners, as soon Kris's entire body would have been erased. However, not before he could see Jevil, and not before he could see Sham say, it's okay now, come out. As Noel would walk right out, as Sham's eyes would then glow bright red. Not Kris's eye color, but another. Kris knew this eye color all too well. As he felt enraged of what was going to happen. As suddenly he heard a quick clean shh noise. As with his final breaths, Kris could only see his daughter stabbed in the chest, as the other two as the other two were terrified, eyed M-word, or screaming at Sham for what he had just done, as Noel would then fall over and begin disintegrating in dust. Kris would then wake up in a black void, in a dark black area, as he would then say, Why? 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 Why did they have... Why do they have to follow me everywhere I go? Even in another world. Of course, there's another player. As he then say, oh, it doesn't matter. Just take my soul and drag me to hell. However, what happened was even was confusing to Kris. As he saw a bright light, revealing a woman with green hair and green eyes, next to a man with white hair and red eyes. As the woman would then say, Look, he's got your eyes. Look, he has your eyes. As the man named Hizashi would look at the child, seeing its light blue skin and already long blue hair. What I mean by already long is it's already at the bottom of his neck. As they would then name the baby Izuku. And that is where I'm ending this off. Hope y'all have enjoyed. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. But I'm not going to say the word yet. I'm going to give you a sneak peek for anyone who watched this video and liked it. Just a warning. Yeah, Rouse and Susie will be joining the MHA world, just like Kris. As two different reincarnations, you can probably guess who the two are going to be. I'll just give you one clue. One will be a insane mad lad version of a cruel, abusive father's child, while the other will be a very angry dog and will be reincarnated as a very angry dog-like personality person. Also, Noel will be reincarnated as Eri. I don't know. I don't care what you say. It's happening. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. Bye, and, skadoosh.